Okay. Here we are. Let's see. Hello. Welcome in. Glad you made it. Good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever it may be, wherever you are, and whenever you're watching. Hopefully things are good. Yeah, welcome back. We're gonna be working on our game, just chilling. This may or may not end up being a shorter stream. We'll see. I have some ideas of what I want to do, but I wasn't like fully sure how long all of that would take. I've worked on this in the past, in between last time I streamed this, which was Sunday, and now, which I can show you. I mostly was working on doors. Oh my gosh, as per normal. If you've watched any of the past streams, it's just been me working on doors for nonstop. But I think we got it all worked out. So first I updated the interacting to a line trace interact. So now here, I'll show you. When you go to something, right, when you hit the key that I've assigned for interact, which is E, it'll send out a line trace. So it's basically like pointing at stuff is a good way to think about it. And so then the way I set it up is that when it hits something that can be interacted with, aka the door, that's when that will trigger it. So no longer is it just like a box trigger, right? Because it used to be to interact with the door, all you had to do was stand within a box that was around the door, and then press the interact key and it would just interact. But now I have to like actually look at the door and click on it, you know, because like can't open it if I'm looking at the frame or if I'm looking at the ground. I have to be looking at the door to interact with it. So that was one thing, but it wasn't that bad actually. I think I got it on first try. The real problem was the elevator door and getting that to work, because I mostly tried to copy how the door was working, right? So this is the door, just the normal swing door. And so I just tried to copy this into the elevator door, only change, instead of this rotates it, change the rotation to just a slide location, but it wasn't working. Or I should say it was working, but it wouldn't close, right? The door would open, but I couldn't get it to close. So I ended up actually posting on the Unreal Engine forums and being like, hey, I can't get my thing to close. Ultimately got it to close, because somebody suggested I change this kind of setup here for the finished into this, so it actually changes what it sets to, which is what this is theoretically doing, and it does work. This is the weird part I still don't understand, but I don't care enough to go understand it right now. Is like it works for the swinging door, this setup, but it wasn't working for the elevator doors, and I don't know why. Regardless, I switched it to this. It ended up working. Super helpful, super nice. So now we have working elevator doors, which is great. So the first thing I wanted to do, that hopefully won't take that long, is just I wanted to actually attach the elevator doors, now that they exist, into the elevator, so that they go up and down with the elevator, which is kind of the goal currently. So I've added them into the blueprint. The last time I did this, it messed everything up, so I'm a little concerned that this won't work, but we shall see. For now, I think we'll be fine, but we will see. That's just 200, please. And that's 120. Okay. Yeah, so I guess the real question here is, if I come in here, let's get rid of this one. Does it work? Okay. It seems to work. We seem to be good. That being said, as you could see, because the doors go into the walls, it means I can't click on them. So the other thing I wanted to work on was changing the trigger from clicking on the doors themselves to clicking on a button. In this case, I'll just make it a cube static mesh. And I think I know how I would do that. And I really hope that I can just do it really easily and quickly. I don't want it attached. I will want one attached here inside the elevator, but I also will want one not attached to the elevator, but instead attached to a wall, which I was thinking about this earlier today. And I realized that, like, elevators, you know, should be a wall here that's not just directly onto the elevator door. So I'm gonna just add that in really quick. Actually, let me see. Actually, the easiest way might just be to copy this and then just slide it over here, you know. Yeah, like right there. Which I think is even lined up exactly how I want it. Yeah, I think. That is a little awkward now that that doesn't do that. Okay, I know what to do then. Fix that. We just move this wall forward a bit. Yep, and then bring this forward to close the gap. Is that where we want it? That's where we're... Okay. Perfect. Because now we have an actual wall there. Yeah, so we'll attach the panel to that first. That's the first step. And hopefully that will work. So yeah, actually what we want to do here then is we want to make a... Do we want to make it a blueprint? I suppose, yeah. Yeah, we'd want it to be a blueprint, huh? Okay, blueprint. We'd want it to be an actor component is a reusable component that can be added to any actor. We just an actor is probably fine. BP panel. Okay. Open that up. Dock that up here. Add a static mesh. Or I guess we should probably want to just add a cube. Yeah, we'll just add a cube. We want our cube to be smaller than that. Like pretty small actually. Let's do 0.5 by 0.5. Actually let's do 0.5 by 0.1. And then Make that also 0.5, I suppose. No, a little taller. 0.7. Ah. Should we make this even smaller? 0.01. I suppose it might be easier just to make it a plane, actually. Yeah, actually, let's do that. Because, like, we just want a thin thing that exists that we can just click on. We do want it to rotate 90 degrees. Yep. Okay. And then we will make this chrome. We'll make it match the elevator, but not chrome ball. Chrome. Okay. And let's shrink this to 0.5. Yeah, so it's taller. Okay. Now we also want to add in our interact interface so that we can actually interact with it. You can open that up and pull that out and break that link. Okay. Now, I think this is as simple and as easy, right? All of this remains the same. We don't touch it. We still want all this to be true. I think the only difference here is that what we want is we want to cast to... We want this basically to exist inside the panel. Only instead of just being able to directly go to it, we want it to cast to these events in this blueprint. So that it works the exact same, but it triggers the panel now, right? Which I think you can do, and I'm hoping it's not that difficult to do. So first we want to branch. That's first and foremost. I'm wondering, because it will change the variable type if I go into here, right? It doesn't exist. And I don't know how to make it exist. I mean, we can copy it, right? And change it so it's... Can we cast to what's it called? Open door. I suppose I could just type in variable. I also wonder, might as well check this now. Cast to open. That's what I was afraid of. Okay, let's see if I can figure this out. If I can't figure it out quickly, we'll probably just move on, because I have spent many a stream banging my head against the wall on doors, so I can work on it on my own. But for now, I think we can try to figure it out. It's an event dispatcher. Now what is this? I don't know. I don't think I'm under dementia currently. I mean, on one hand, you could just make a child actor, right? That isn't attached. That would just be the BP panel. So there is that. Thing is, I don't actually want it like existing. I don't want it existing here because it's not going to be attached to the elevator in any way, shape, or form. So that's like really interesting because I don't want it attached to the elevator like out here. I just want it to like be able to call functions. So I actually don't think that's what we want to do. I don't think that's what we want to do. Class settings, blueprint, display name, blueprint category, imports. Can we import stuff? Oh. What are these? I don't know. Call. Can you cast to BP elevator door? Tries to access class as a blueprint class BPL door. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know what that means exactly for me. Elevator door. Some functions, how do you like to fix them? Create matching function. And then we cast to elevator door. Door. Huh. Okay, hold on. I think we got it. I think we're figuring it out. Maybe. We may be doing that. Okay, well, we want door open, and we want a door open owner. Yep. We'd also want a closed door. L and a closed door R. Okay. How do I have it set up over here? Closed doors are true. Okay. L and R. Got it. Closed door L, closed door R. Set up in that order. To the return node, and then open door L, open door R. We forgot the branch. We want this to a branch, actually. And when true, go here, and when false, go to. And then condition, we want open door, which we actually can get here. Open door. Get open door. Condition. Right. PP. Object? What is the object? Tries to access object as a blueprint class BP elevator door it may be an instance of. Oh. Does it want what are those called? SM elevator door. Okay. SM elevator door. Oh gosh. Okay, but we also want SM elevator. Nor. What is this called? What did we just get this called as? What's the problem here? Why did we move? Oh, you just want an asset SM. CP Elevator Door 2 does not inherit from character, which means something for sure. What does it inherit from? I don't know. CP Elevator Door self. Self? Get a reference to self. That doesn't work. Yeah, okay. You just okay, yeah. Type of object is undetermined. Connect something to Caspi to imply a specific type. Static mesh. Uh-huh. I don't want to cast. I'm already casting. Sanic. Yeah, that's cool. What are we even doing here anymore? I don't know. Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. So, I'm missing something here. I don't know what to do about this object thing. So we might just move on from that and just say, cool, we're maybe halfway there. But I don't know exactly what to do about that. So. This definitely does not work. But you know what? For the fun of it, we'll add it. Rotation, 90 degrees. That meant negative 90. Really? There we go. It's also really big, but it's fine. Okay, right there. And then we walk on over there. Yep, as predicted. Does not work. Okay, we're gonna just leave it there and ignore it for now and move on. Okay, so actually that's a good thing. I made this list, or I'm going to be making this list. It's not actually in existence yet. Well, the framework for the list is in existence. Nothing else is. Of things I want / need to learn for this game. So like I said, I have a rough idea of what I want this game to be, but I don't actually, like, I've just been kind of going along and trying to figure some stuff out as we go along. So this list hopefully will kind of give me a better idea. I gave myself like 100 slots because I figured this is gonna be a long list. So for instance, we can put at the top of this list how to or I should say just interact panel panel / button for separate blueprint. Oh, that's not what we wanted. There we go. So that's one. That's what I was just trying to do. Clearly not Not exactly how I want to do that. We'll see. Going through the world stuff, we can focus on world stuff first and foremost. Oh, we want to learn how to make our own assets, basic assets. Make own assets. Like walls, buttons, maybe furniture of some kind, maybe not. If I did, it'd be very basic. Light fixtures, sure. Etc. I'm just gonna put etc. Let's see. What else do we need to know? So I was thinking about the elevator some more, and I can get it to go from one spot to another spot, but if I wanted to go to a third spot or a fourth spot, I don't know how to do that. So elevator going to multiple locations, more than two, because I can get it to go in between two, but I don't know past that. We want to figure out sound. I mean, but that's like very broad. Let's not worry about sound yet. Let's just assets, actual like physical things in the game. What else do we need to know how to do? It hasn't happened yet, and it might never happen, but like slicing or slash changing static meshes, you know. So for instance, let me drag that over there so I don't lose it. So for instance, right, this wall here extends beyond what I want it to be. So like obviously one solution is that I just create a wall that's only that's the size I want, but I'm wondering if there's another solution of like, can I just chop that off? Just chop it, go goodbye. So that's kind of what I'm talking about with that one. Yeah, oh, that's another thing. Triggers. You need to figure out how to make lighting triggers and other triggers, you know. Triggers for lights, sounds, events, etc. I mean, I generally already know how to do that. But not for like already existing things, you know. So maybe I should actually specify like changing. The one I'm thinking of most specifically is like changing how lights between and on and off state, you know. Let me think about this. What else do we need? Various assets, different panels. I mean, I'm thinking of some other stuff, but it's not like within the asset category, so I'm kind of like don't want to write it down yet. um let me think. Another thing would be like loading in assets as the game goes, you know. I totally lost. I messed up. I lost the thing. Hold on, I'll run. Let me pull it back up. Okay. Here it is again. We'll just leave it. No, it's not that. Leave it like so. Yes, I know I'm on it. Cause okay. Yep. Loading in / out assets as game runs, you know. So for stuff like where you walk up to, right, you're in a hallway, a dead-end hallway, and then you as the player walk all the way down the hallway, and when you reach the end you turn around and suddenly you're no longer in the hallway, you're in a room, or you know, stuff changed just from you turning around, that sort of stuff, which is just loading in and out assets as far as I'm aware. That's how that works. So I don't know how to do that at all. So that's one thing to learn. And I think that's pretty much everything asset wise, actually. I mean, this one's big. This one's probably pretty big. That should be pretty simple. That might not even be a thing that you can do. That hopefully isn't that difficult, and this hopefully also won't take that long. These are the big ones. This one and this one. So that's kind of like assets, right? No, I'm gonna drop 5 or 6. Now I want to talk about character interact, like what the player can do. Specifically, I want crouching, how to crouch, how to have player crouch, player leaning like around a wall, you know, player leaning around corners, is there anything else I need? The player can already jump. I set up the interact, so that will work for literally anything that I need it to work for, so that's not an issue anymore. I will need to change. I want to say this is for doors, elevator, because currently the elevator just operates on a box trigger. Elevator. Oh my gosh. Which I don't want. Lights, I suppose, are also another thing, rather than like a box trigger overlap. Yeah, player leaning around corners, player crouching. What else would I need the player to do, or would want the player? Not much. Like, there's not much. Like, this is not a very you're not gonna be shooting anything, you're not gonna be, you know, flying or doing some other stuff. Running, player running / sprint meter, maybe even. I don't know if I'd want that, but it would be good to know. Yeah, that would definitely be something I'd want. It might be good to have a like a hold to interact, which maybe that actually goes up here as opposed to here, but it's kind of a thing. It's more of a character action. So yeah, I don't know if I'll use that, but it'd be good to have and know how to do if I do want to use it. Hold to interact. Is there anything else? Maybe like how to have the character hold something in front of them, like hold something in front of them, like an object. I'll say object, hold object in front of them. Trying to think, what else do we want? Holding object. Cleaning, running. We'll get to sound here in a second. There's a whole lot of things for sound. But I think that's it. Like, I don't know how much more the player would be doing. Nothing, really. I suppose I might want the player to read something, like how to pull up a reading screen / dialogue or text boxes. You know? So that's the thing. I think that's pretty much it. We'll leave some space. So that's player, that's actual assets. The next big thing is sound. Just generally how to add sound to everything. Add sound to stuff. That'd be door opening / closing. Elevator. Button presses, etc. Literally everything. Also want to know how to have dialogue triggers. That's not how you spell dialogue. Dialogue triggers. I'll put it in a separate thing, but it's very connected to that. Also have dialogue boxes / subtitles. It's especially important since it's not like I have money. So not going to be hiring any voice actors for this, so definitely need some words to show up. Generally I just need also to like how to create sounds. I mean, mostly it'd just be record something and then distort it, right? Or don't distort it, depending on what you need. But still, that's something to learn. There's an art to that. That's people's whole jobs sometimes, so should really throw that in there. Also, yeah, specific sounds we're gonna need are like character voices. Again, more just gurgle and gargle. not actual voices. The player gonna need like grunts maybe, and grunts, footsteps are some. I have an idea for like music box of some kind that I'm gonna want. Elevator noises. Under the footsteps, it's very much going to need to be like different flooring, you know? So if you're on like wood, that'd be different than if you're on sand. I have no intention of putting you on sand at any point in this game, but maybe you're on carpet. I don't know. Any other sounds that are like I know for a fact right now we're gonna need? I suppose light switches. Monster noises. Banging / knocking. Breathing. Any other noises? I already have door opening up here and stuff. Okay, I think that's noises. Generally, there's probably going to be stuff I'm going to have to add to all of this, but like I'm just trying to get a better sense of where I'm at and where we're going, you know? Trying to think anything else on the sound front we're gonna need. Maybe, but for right now I actually did think we're gonna need an actual like monster / character. And associated animations. All of that being said, I'm talking like super basic here. But I do want there to be something. So there's that. Oh, sound. This is a big one. And kind of forms the whole basis of my entire game idea. So this is kind of important. 3D audio or like directional audio? So like not just sounds, but like, oh, I can tell that the sound is coming from my left, or coming from in front of me, and have that change dynamically. Which, let me just say hello. Thank you. Dynamic directional audio and distance. Like if it's far away, I want it to be quieter and get louder as you get closer. So that one's gonna be a big one. I should really like highlight. I'll do that later. Like highlight in a darker colored stuff that's gonna take longer to do, or the bigger stuff as opposed to the smaller stuff. So yeah, I think that's asset wise, character wise, sound wise. There's one more category I can think of. Isn't that like general stuff? So like fucking menus, specifically a main menu, settings, etc. Speaking of settings, we want settings, which would be like audio, volume. Let me just say volume levels. I don't know how much my game would actually. It's not gonna be a very colorful game. But if I can figure out how to add color blindness stuff, like what do you call? Wow, my brain. Come on, brain. Adaptability. Nope. Commendations. Sort of. It's like. What do they call that? There's like a whole category of game awards for this. Accommodations? That's not the word. I don't think that's the word. You know what? Hold on. Give me a second. Let me look up categories. Yep. Let me see. Accessibility. Wow, I'm dumb. Okay, yeah. Accessibility options. Accessibility. That's not how you spell that. Whatever. Options. What else do you include in settings? Mouse sensitivity, I suppose. Etc. We'll say etc. for now. Settings, we'd want to change. What other general info is there? Obviously, we're gonna need a script of some kind for the dialogue and how I want things to go and whatnot. So script / dialogue scripts. What else? Menu settings. What other general things exist in video games that I'm just blanking on? Title and title logo / screen that exists. Credits exist, though it'll just say me. I am the only one, unless I somehow have money at some point. But this is a pretty small project, so it's just gonna be me. Credits though. What else is in games? That I'd want in this game specifically, but in general. Oh, like a save system, I suppose, would be smart. I mean, it's not. The game is going to be designed to finish in one sitting. But some sort of saving system anyway would be good. At least an auto save system. Auto, if not manual. I doubt it'll have a manual auto saving system, because I don't know why you'd need one if it's you just. But an auto saving system in case you like die or something would be good. So what else do games have that I'm just completely blanking on? Oh, both controller and mouse keyboard support. That's important. even though this would not be released on console, I'd still want a controller. As somebody who grew up purely a console and handheld gamer, controllers are my go-to still, so that's where I'd like it to be. I'd still like that to be included. What else? What else is included in games that are just like general things that exist? I don't know. For now, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's kind of like the basics is like everything I need to learn for the game. I do want to create another list, maybe just next to it, that's like the actual game structure, you know? Kind of like an overarching, this is what the game is going to be document, which like I have in my head and have had in my head since before I started this whole game making journey, but like I've never actually written down in a one comprehensive spot before, so that might be something to do. Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else. I'm sure I'll come up with more stuff to throw on here, but like for now, that's kind of like the main gist of it. The game at its very basic core is you travel between different zones in an elevator that only goes down, so you can't ever go back up. And in each of the zones, there's like, it unfolds more and more of the story and gets more and more dangerous. With the basic idea being that the only safe spot in the entire game is in the elevator. And so if you specifically in the elevator with the door closed, right? So once you got to that's something, talking through all of this made me think of something. And I also totally exited back out of the Google Sheet there. So let me pull that back up. Let's see. Player listen in to a door, because the idea is like when you get to a floor, the elevator will stop and then you can listen, right? You'd bring your character right up to the door and then kind of like lean into the door and listen in before you, and then depending on what you heard or didn't hear, you could decide to open the door or not. And some doors will kill you instantly, some doors might do that, some doors won't do that. So you kind of have to like make that decision to open the door or not, and then you leave, right? And then the main gameplay past that for each of the levels is at least for some of the levels, would be early on you'd get a music box of some kind that you'd pick up, and then you Also, you'd be able to grab objects and add them to your elevator, so you get your own little personalized elevator. As you go down is kind of the idea, but also once you are in the level, right, you would get a music box very early on, if not like the first level or two that you go down, that would just be chilling in the elevator all the time. And so then when you leave the elevator, the floor would change, right? So you wouldn't know where the elevator was anymore, and then you'd have to like hide slash sneak slash run your way back to the elevator to be safe again from a monster or something chasing you. And you do that by listening for the music box and like being able to tell, oh, it's coming from the right, seems pretty far away though, and you'd be able to tell as you got closer because it'd be louder, and you could like figure out which direction to go by where the sound's coming from. That's kind of the idea. So now obviously, so the best thing about that, the whole game, is that it can like make a small quick version of that, and then expand it right later. And so that's kind of the plan, is to like make a small 3 to 5 levels that you go between, that kind of just show the basic idea of the game, and release that first before anything else, and then ultimately release one that's longer. Like I wrote this down somewhere, like 20 to 30 levels, and there'd be like main floors that have a lot more importance than other floors. A lot of the floors, like I said, some will just kill you and some will just be like sneaky and like try to kill you or something, you know? So like not every floor would be worth stopping at or would have something of great value. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. And so I think that's pretty much everything. I'm glad I talked through it, because that helped me realize that I needed one more character movement option, which is also why I want the elevator to not be right. I don't want the elevator doors to open by interacting with them directly, because I want the character to be able to listen in and then click on the button to determine if they want to open the door or go down. Because those would be the only 3 buttons, right? You'd have an open door button, a go down button, and a closed door button, and that's it. And on the outside, you'd only have a down button, right? That would just open the door. But yeah, I think that's it. And I think, like I said, this is kind of a shorter stream. I'm debating, or I've mostly decided, but I will let you know Sunday for sure. Because I'll be streaming this again Sunday. But I think I'm gonna update what I stream, not when I stream. Though I'd like to be more consistent. I have not been very consistent. I'd like to be more consistent on that front. But what I stream, I think I'm gonna, for reasons I'll get into Sunday when I've made the ultimate decision, but I think I'm gonna make the game making streams just once a week, on Sundays specifically, as more update, and then just a little bit of like chill and make something small. Because there have been multiple times where I've been like, oh, I want to make the game right now, but oh, I'm gonna be streaming it later tonight, so like I better just not until then, and then I lose all motivation. And then we get to the stream and I have no motivation, but I got to because I'm streaming now, and you know, so it's just like I want to make it when I want to make it, and often that's not when I'm streaming, and so I think it's just easier to not spend the majority of my streaming time making stuff, and I also just want to. I kind of have a goal of playing a lot more indie games this year, and I've enjoyed streaming both Resident Evil 7 and Signalis, though I think from now on we'll mostly stick to indie games of all kinds. So I think I'd want to stream that more. I find more enjoyment in that. And for now, with as few people that watch these as do, I'm mostly doing it for myself and for the enjoyment of it. So I'm gonna do what I enjoy. So that being said, I'm still planning on working on my game all the time, and I do plan on streaming an update at least once a week. That's, again, this is not finalized decision, and I will let you know Sunday if anything changes, but that's kind of my current thoughts. So you'll still get game making streams that are just me chilling and working and explaining stuff, but it'll be a lot more update centric, because I plan on working on it more outside of streams than I have been. So yeah, anyway, I think that's it for now. Like I said, it was kind of a shorter stream because I had those two ideas in mind that I wanted to work on the door, which I didn't want to spend too long doing, but then I also wanted to write up that list, which we did, and I didn't know how long that would take, and it's taken this long, so I think we'll call it. Thanks for watching. I will catch you again Sunday with another game making stream, and then we will see what the future holds at that point. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a good one. Bye bye.